Okay, so as you read in the title, today I'm going to give you movie recs, but they're based in books. So they're basically also book recs. Like if you read the book, you can watch the movie, and if you watch the movie, you can read the book. And if you read and watched both, then I don't care what you do, honestly. Okay, so I think there are 10 shows and 10 books because it's one book per. Oh my god, no, I have more movies because I have two movies in one book. But you'll understand when I get to it. So, Troy and Abed in the morning.
Troy and Abed in the morning.
Okay, so first I have The Umbrella Academy. So if you don't know, well, I don't know how to explain The Umbrella Academy because it doesn't have like a specific like plot, like apocalypse technically. That's the plot. But basically, like in the first season, we follow six siblings, and basically they were born like 46, I think, kids were born in the planet Earth in the same date at the same time. But the one thing that, like, besides all of that coincidences, we also have that the mothers were not pregnant at the beginning of the day. So basically all these kids have superpowers, and there's this guy eccentric as fuck, and he's rich, and he adopts 7 of them. And so we follow them, how they are trained, and we follow their story. And now we're seeing them like in the show. We see flashbacks, but we are in the present, and the father just died. The first episode, it's called like We Only Meet at Weddings and Funerals. And so they all get together and they meet each other again, and they have power steals, but they have like different lives. Like one of them, it's Allison, she's number 3 because he never named them. Like they were named by a robot. That's a long story, but he only gave them numbers. He's a bitch. And so she's number 3, and she's like an actress now, and she's famous and stuff. And like number 1 was on the moon. Long story. He has like super strength, and so we have a lot of powers, and it's interesting as fuck. And we have queer characters, we have people of colors, we have everything. And when I first read this book, I couldn't stop, like this duology, I couldn't stop thinking about the Umbrella Academy. And that duology is the villains duology, like Vicious and Vengeful by B.E. Schwab. And here we follow the story of 2 best friends that meet in college, and they decide to experiment. They have a theory that if you are close enough to death or experiment something like have a death experience or something like that, you can obtain like superpowers and become extraordinary. Okay, but the interesting thing is that they are not heroes. Like obviously they obtain superpowers, and we are following dual point of view. We're seeing how they obtain them, but we are in the future seeing how one of them just escaped from jail and it's trying to find the other and kill him. So they're all villains, and the main characters are Eli and Victor. I fucking love Victor. And the second book follows more of Eli's story, but in the first one we get more of Victor. And it's really amazing. And the whole sci-fi fantasy of it, like that's my favorite book by G.B. Schwab. And I read like not a lot of her books. Like I read The Invisible Life of Annie LaRue, I think, and that's it. Besides villains, but I know what I'm saying. Okay, the next movie has a book that was released after the movie, and it's Dead Poet Society. But I haven't read the book, so I cannot recommend it. But I did watch the movie many times, and basically we're following this school for boys. It's Dark Academia, and this group of boys are like, the school is like Catholic, I think. And if you've been in a Catholic school, you know, like I don't need to explain it. And when you find like a teacher that's a little liberal, you go crazy. And so they get a teacher in literature that it's fucking amazing. Robin Williams, my king, my cancer king. and he, oh my god, it sounds so bad. Cancer is his zodiac sign. Hello, was, and so basically he impulses them to appreciate more than just medicine. Like there's a quote he says like,
Don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
and so that's why that poet society, like he introduces them to so much poetry. I am kind of angry that most of the poetry they're introduced to, all the poetry, it's male, like written by men. But what can I say? I think they should have read Emily Dickinson because she's relatable as fuck. If you were going to keep it wide, which you shouldn't, but they did anyways, at least put Emily Dickinson, okay? Or fucking Emily Bronte. Oh my god, many Emilys. Okay, and the book I recommend is, oh my god, I have a copy, but I don't have it here. But yeah, If We Were Villains by ML Rio. It's one of my favorite books, and it basically follows this group of students. It's like the typical dark academia. We follow a group of students that attend a specific university called, like, I don't remember the name, but it's like Shakespearean. They focus on Shakespeare. Okay, the main character, Oliver Marks, he basically is telling the story. I think 10 years later, he was in jail because he killed, allegedly, one of his classmates, and he was decided like he was guilty, whatever. And he was, how do you say that, like they found him guilty, I don't know, yeah. So they decided to, oh my god, so he's getting like out of jail, and the detective that was in the investigation, like he goes to ask him the truth of what really happened, because like no one can get like into jail now because yeah, like everything happened already. He served the time, like somebody served the time, and the guy just wants to know like, okay, I know you were hiding something from me, like all of you, so please tell me the truth. And it's very interesting because at the beginning you don't even know who died, which is interesting because you're seeing the throwbacks and it's like divided in acts, and I really love it. All the quotes. It's one of my favorite books of 2021, and I want to reread it as soon as possible because I didn't have a physical copy and I want to annotate it. After that, we have a show that you have to consider. I only watched the first 2 seasons. I need to watch 4 more seasons before I have an official opinion, but it's How to Get Away with Murder. And basically we're following Annalise Keating. She's like a lawyer, and she's a professor in university, and basically this university, like she selects 5 students from her class to be like interns, but for free, in her law firm. And so she brings these 5 students, and since the pilot, you know that they killed someone, and you even know who they killed, but I will let you enjoy the pilot because you don't know it until the end. The episode has like, she's defending someone and you're following the story. It's like very similar to The Mentalist or something like that, but instead, or Law and Order, but instead of wanting to know who really did it, she doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I just want to defend my client and to get them like a good deal. That's her job. But also we have like this main plot because we need to find out how these students got to kill the person they killed. Like, how did it happen? And we have such amazing characters. We have Wes. He's like this guy that got waitlisted in the university, but he was admitted like 2 days before class started. Is that a plane or a helicopter? Yeah. And then we have Connor Walsh. I love Connor. He is an iconic character, and you know since the first episode that he's not easy to beat, but he is kind of a dumb bitch sometimes, and I get angry at him, but c'est la vie. We have, oh my god, I don't remember the other 2 names. We have Laurel. Oh my god, what's the other one? Michaela. So yeah, Michaela is this girl that, like, she is not what she appears. So everyone has a secret. Oh yeah, I said 5 students. There's another. His name is Asher, and he's this white boy, kind of frat boy, kind of, yeah, you know, we have a little bit of everything. And so I recommend with this book. Oh my god, I think I only said I was going to recommend movies, but I'm recommending shows. I forgot to say it, but yeah, you know now. And I really felt it, like, so far with especially the first season, it really felt like the secret history, because like you start with the ending, like you know someone's dead and you know who is dead, and you need to get at how and why they killed that person and how it happened. Like, it was the group, it was one person and the other followed, like what happened. So yeah, it's very the secret history vibes. I even started watching the show because I really wanted to watch a Dark Academia show, and people recommended it, and I said, okay, I really like Viola Davis, so I'm just gonna watch. We have after that a romance, because not everything can be Dark Academia, and that's Monster in Law. This movie, it's with Jennifer Lopez. Why did I say Jennifer Lopez? And basically we're following, like, Jennifer, it's this girl, and she walks dogs and stuff like that. Like, she doesn't have a lot of money, but she's making a living, and she meets this guy. And the guy, well, basically his mom was famous. She had like a show, and they fired her when she got old, and she went into a mental breakdown and was in a mental institution. And so her son meets this girl, like Jennifer, and he falls in love with her, and he's like, I'm gonna marry her. And he asks her, and they are going to get married, but the mom is like one of these overprotective moms, and she's like, yeah, you're not going to marry my son. And so it's so fun because she pretends to be more crazy than she is, which makes her more crazy even. I don't know, it's really funny. And when you finally get Jennifer like confronting her and like taking back what it's her, like her power, I don't know, it's really funny.
This isn't over, not even close, girlie. Well, bring it on, Grandma.
And the son is like so clueless, like, you're like, boy, you need to figure it out, they're fighting. And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. And we have the book I recommend with that, it's You Deserve Each Other. When I was reading this book, I was just thinking about that movie, like, oh my god, it's so similar. And basically we follow Naomi and Nicholas, and basically they're a couple, and they've been engaged for like a year, and they haven't gotten married, and everyone's like, hey, are you going to get married? What is happening? And the thing is, they're very unhappy with each other. It's like a second chance romance, and they're very unhappy with the other. And so they start a war of like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Also another movie that's similar, but I don't like it that much. And basically they start a war, like, to see who is going to divorce the other first. Oh my god, there's another with Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher that's also similar, but I don't remember the name. Something in Las Vegas, but I don't like that movie either. But yeah, they are fighting, stay away, to see which of them it's going to ask to cancel the engagement, because the one that cancel it's like, it's going to be more hated, and like her mom, like the mom of the guy, spent so much money. And so it's similar to Monster in Law because of that. Like, the mother, it's, what do you want? The mother, it's like overprotective of her son, and he keeps accepting like that she does stuff she shouldn't be doing. Like, she keeps controlling their family, and she's like, oh my god, for once take fucking control and stop being such a mommy's boy. And it's really funny. Are you scared? Look at him, demon child. So I talked about You Deserve Each Other. I really like that book. I think all of these books are like 5 stars, so just so you know, or 4 stars. Next, we have Peaky Blinders. If you don't know what Peaky Blinders is about, basically it's about this family. It's based, okay, like in a real crime family technically, and basically this family, and the leader, it's like Thomas Shelby. I keep saying it like that, and it's in Birmingham in like England, and we're following them. Like, all the brothers just came back from the First World War. Yeah, that. and they just came back and they take back the business. They had like criminal business, of course, and their aunt Polly was like, rest in peace, the actress, and she was like keeping it together, everything. She's like she's sort of the leader too, but the leader is Tommy, and he's like a child. He's, well, not a child, but he's the younger of all of them, and it's like kind of funny, but whatever. We're basically like, another disclaimer, like I haven't watched like the full show. I only watched like 2 seasons because I'm crazy and I don't finish shows, but I'm gonna finish it. It's like, it already ended, but I don't know how it ended. Thank God I don't have spoilers yet. God, like, I don't want to hear spoilers about it. And I really recommend, like, this is a famous book. I'm more recommending the show. And the book that's similar to is Six of Crows. If you don't know, Six of Crows is like in the same universe, like in the Grishaverse, as the Shadow and Bone series by Lee Bardugo. And basically, Six of Crows follows, like, in the map you get, I will put a photo in the screen, in the map you get in, like, Shadow and Bone, we are shown, like, an isle called Ketterdam. And this isle, basically, it's, like, it's a center for gambling, for commerce, and a lot of things. And so basically we are following six characters, Six of Crows, and one of them, like the main character technically, his name is Cass Brecker, and he didn't need a reason, but he always has one reason. And so Cass Brecker, it's basically this badass boy of 17 because it's YA, and he's basically going, like, he's part of this band, criminal band. And it's similar to Peaky Blinders because of that. I really like I started watching Peaky Blinders because people told me, like, you're going to love it, it's so similar. And I read Six of Crows because people told me it was similar to La Casa de Papel. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch La Casa de Papel. I'm gonna read Six of Crows. And it's like a chain. And it's been extending so far. And I like heists, apparently. I'm sorry, Rick and Morty. I'm a sinner. And I don't know, Six of Crows is really entertaining, and we get some romance, but don't go in expecting romance. It's a duology technically, but start with Six of Crows, and if you really like it, you might like Crooked Kingdom. I cannot recommend that enough. I don't want to say more. Like, we have Grisha, people with powers, and we have, but it's not that involved technically. We have a lot of complicated heist. And the second book I like better because we stay in Canada, because in the first one they have a heist and they go to another country. But the second book, it's better because they stay in Canada. What? And yeah, that's Six of Crows basically. I always talk a lot when I talk about Six of Crows. After that, here's the 2 movies. It's Kill Your Darlings with Daniel Radcliffe, of course. And also we have here Elizabeth Olsen, let me not forget. And Brokeback Mountain with Jake Gyllenhaal and the Heath Ledger. Oh my God, rest in peace also. Everyone's dead, what the fuck? And so Kill Your Darlings and Brokeback Mountain. Well, Kill Your Darlings, it's like Dark Academia, and these 2 boys, like, they kill someone basically. And you are like following this. I don't know how to say it without saying any spoilers. Well, they're gay. That's an interesting, like, they meet at college. It's similar to Valence also, but they are canon gay, which they are not. Trigger warning, this movie has homophobia, but yeah, they kill a queer person, so it is kind of messy. And I'm done with sad queer stories, but with the book I'm gonna talk about, it is necessary. So Brokeback Mountain is about these 2 guys, and they like guard cheap, I don't know what else to say, like, yeah, and they fall in love, they're together, and yeah, it's so not romantic, and it's so tragic, and I read the book, it's a short story, and it's traumatizing just as much as the movie. Kill Your Darlings is really good. Actually, I watched it last year, I think, or this year, I don't remember, but I really loved it. And the book I'm recommended is This Violent Delights by Mika Nevermer. I don't know how to say his name yet. Okay, so This Violent Delights, it's very similar to both movies. Like, we're following these two guys and they fall in love and they kill someone. Like, the first thing you know, it's like you're from the point of view of the one that's killed, like the first chapter, I think, or the prologue, I don't remember well. And so yeah, they kill someone, and it's kind of similar to Brokeback Mountain, but it's more to kill your darlings. But I wanted to add Brokeback Mountain. Like, everyone's watched this movie. I don't know what I'm recommending it. I'm more recommending the book. That it is not that famous, I believe, like, yet. After that, I have 4 more books left. I talked so much. I have X-Men First Class, and if you don't know, the X-Men are like this group of mutants, people with powers. I don't know how to explain it because you have to know like about Marvel, well, at least about the X-Men. And so basically, First Class is the movie that's about like their origins, technically, like the origins of Magneto and Professor X, and so on. And the book I recommend is The Atlas Six, because the first time I read it, it was very similar. It is also similar to Villains. Like, Villains is similar because X-Men First Class, I think, came out first. And so, yeah, I really like that movie. I don't know if people like it, like if it's popular, but I don't give a fuck. Xavier is so hot. And Magneto, when he speaks Spanish, like in Argentina, oh my God. I fell in love. After that, we have The 100, the TV show, not the book. Don't read the book. And I really enjoyed that show, except the last season specifically. Like, the two last seasons were meh. I enjoyed a little the previews to the last, but the last one, I couldn't. But if you really like the dystopian vibe to be really explored, like they explored it in The 100, you will really enjoy The Hunger Games. That it's pretty obvious, and so that's what I'm recommending. I don't know a lot. I haven't read as much dystopian as I like to, because I really enjoyed it. But YA dystopias can be kind of meh, and I don't know if I should read Shatter Me, so I'm dubious. If you don't know what The Hunger Games is about, well, I don't know if you've been living under a rock. I don't know what to say. Like, it's basically, we have 12 districts in this country called Panem, and they're basically one of, like, each district has to offer 2 tributes, a girl and a boy, each year. I think beyond the age of 13 or something like that. They have to offer a tribute, like 2 tributes per district, and they are going to be put in an arena to fight to the death, and only one can survive. And our main character, Katniss, it's like, she's never been, obviously, to the Hunger Games because she's alive, and almost everyone dies. And I really enjoyed the first book, but the second book, it's better because we get introduced a lot of champions, previous champions, and it's interesting to see the trauma they all have, like, from surviving. So yeah, if you listen to Don't Read 'Em Up, right, that's my sister. We have 2 more left. We have Core Interrupted, amazing movie. It also has a book, but I'm not going to talk about the book. It's with Angelina Jolie. I talked about it before, and we have also Winona Ryder. I'm not going to dwell too much into it because I talked about a lot about the movie. But the book I'm going to mention, it's called The Madman Tales. I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but we are both book and movie are like based in a psychiatrist hospital. I don't know, but yeah. And basically, in The Madman Tale, we are following this guy, Francis Petro, and he is coming back to a place where to this hospital where he was interned, and this brings back forth a lot of memories of what happened and what ultimately led to the to the place being closed down. And so he's remembering everything that happened, a series of murders, and similar to the one, there's a lot of mentions of Jack the Ripper, and that book is how I met Jack the Ripper. Yeah, I found out a lot of details I didn't know about it because I heard the name before. Of course, it's getting dark. I need to. It's like the sky is black because it's going to rain, I think. So yeah, The Madman Tales follows that, and we are basically with an unreliable narrator because we cannot trust him because of his mental illness and his trauma. He is clearly disturbed, PTSD. It's messy as fuck, and yeah, there's a lot of lovable characters in the hospital, but while you're reading, you don't feel like trusting anyone, not even this, like Francis, because you feel like any of them could be the killer, and you know who's the killer. I keep saying it's messy as fuck, but there is a lot of blood and cutting of fingers, so make sure to look the trigger warnings for all of these books. And finally, oh my god, the end, we have Knives Out. Knives Out, it's a famous movie, but the book I'm going to mention, I think it is famous, but it deserves like more fame, and that's The Gilded Wolves. Knives Out, it's basically like a clue, like the whole, like the mansion where it happened, like someone is killed, they're investigating, but maybe he wasn't killed, they don't know, they're trying to find out. And so it's a story about a family, and the, like, how do you call that, like the patriarch died of the family, and it's suspected to be foul play. We don't know, we're following the story, and the mansion looks like a clue, like how do you call that, chessboard. That's just like a board, like a clue board. That is. And yeah, it's really amazing. And we have Ana de Armas, Chris Evans, the name of the detective, LeBlanc. I really like that guy. I know he's the one from, I don't remember his name, but I know he's the one from James Bond, so not that dumb. And also Hannah Baker, Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm trying to remember anyone else. Oh my god, is that the... No, I'm confusing it with Succession. It's very similar to Succession too. Well, like in the family, rich family sense. But the Gilded Wolves is not similar at all. But it's similar like in the mystery, and like we have riddles and we have heist, just like in Six of Crows. And if you like Six of Crows, I think you're really going to enjoy like the Gilded Wolves. They are similar in some ways, but they are very different, and like they bring something new to the genre, I believe. And of course, we have people with powers, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. I like the second book the most. It was really amazing and action-packed. I really like books that have lots of action, no so much like adventures without fighting, like Percy Jackson. I'm always going to mention it, like Percy Jackson has lots of action. That's why I enjoy it a lot. Like in each chapter you have a battle, you have no breaks until the end, and that's amazing, I believe. So that's all I have to say for today's video. That's all the books and movies and shows I'm going to be recommended. If you watched any of the shows and you know another book or movies and you know another book that fits, let me know. And the other way around, of course. I'm always expecting recommendations that are similar to the books and movies I enjoy and shows, because I'm always watching shows and stuff like that. And I don't have the best opinion to rate things, like I don't know anything about movies and stuff. My cat is looking at me. But yeah, I know it's fucking dark and I should probably end it. Okay, that's everything. See ya.